Alright guys, we're going to move on to the second type of word problem that we're going to see when we have to set up a linear system and solve for x and y, and these are money word problems. Now the very first thing that you should do before even taking the notes for this, make sure you have a calculator. Alright, we're going to deal with lots of decimals because we're dealing with cents and money. We're going to get all kinds of ugly numbers here, so have a calculator with you. Alright, now if we're going to just do the first problem together. All right, let's just read through. We have the cost of 5 boxes of envelopes and 6 boxes of note paper is $16.75. And then if we had 3 boxes of envelopes and 4 boxes of note paper cost $10.75, we want to find the cost of each box of envelopes and each box of note paper. All right, let's kind of work backwards. So what we want to find is the cost. When it says each, it means 1 box of envelopes and 1 box of note paper. So if that's what we want to find, those are the unknowns, take this down right now. We know we're going to get 2 equations that have 2 variables, but we have to know what x and y represent. So in this case, we're going to say x is going to be the cost of 1 box of envelopes, and y is going to be the cost of 1 box of note paper. So once we solve for x and y, we know what those numbers represent. All right, if we read through the first sentence, that's going to give us the first equation. Now, since it says 5 boxes of envelopes, well, we said x is the cost of 1 box of envelopes, so I'm going to put an x above there. Now, if x is the cost of 1 box of envelopes and you buy 5 of them, you would multiply 5 and x to give you the total cost. So I'm going to put 5x. Okay, and then it says, and 6 boxes of note paper. Well, note paper, as we have here, is represented by y. So I'm going to put a y above it. So if you buy 6 boxes of note paper, that total cost is going to be 6y. So when we add 5x plus 6y, it's going to equal this. Right? Remember we have that is, so that kind of gives it away that we're going to have equals. So if you buy the 5 boxes of envelopes and 6 boxes of note paper, it's going to equal $16.75. You can see how this is going to get ugly with these ugly decimals. Now if I look at the second sentence, it's going to give us the second equation. Saying 3 boxes of envelopes, well, there it is. X is the envelopes. So if you buy 3 of them, that cost is 3x. Okay, and then it says, and you buy 4 boxes of note paper. Again, the note paper is the y. If you buy 4 boxes of note paper, that total cost is 4y. So we're going to add 4y. And it's saying that total cost is this, the $10.75. So we set it equal to 10.75. Now that's usually the hardest part, getting the 2 equations. Now you're going to see solving for this is going to be probably a lot more tedious and take a lot more work than the previous video because we can't just add. I do not have opposites here. 6 and 4 are not opposites, 5 and 3 are not opposites. What's going to make it even more difficult is that since 3 doesn't go into 5 and since 4 doesn't go into 6, if I want to solve using elimination, I'm going to have to multiply both equations. So you could get rid of the x or the y. I'm going to choose to eliminate the x's, so I'm going to switch the 5 and the 3 here. So I'm going to multiply, let's put this in a different color. I'm going to multiply this first equation by 3. Actually, you know what? Let's make it -3. And I'm going to multiply the second equation by 5. So when I do this, the -3 times 5x, I'm going to rewrite this equation up here, is what? -15x. -3 times 6y is -18y. And then this is where you need your calculator. -3 times 16.75, that's about -50.25. Okay, then I'm going to distribute this 5 to the second equation. So 5 times 3x is 15x. So this is what the second equation is changed into. 5 times 4y is plus 20y. And then 5 times this 10.75, that's going to give us, you put that on your calculator, 53.75. All right, now we're ready to go because these are opposites. These are going to eliminate, okay? And then we can add this up, and solve for y. So put this in blue. These cancel when we add. And then -18 plus 20 is 2, so we have 2y. When we add this -50.25 plus 53.75, that's going to give us 3.5 or 3.50. And then divide by 2, and we're going to get y. Okay, so it's going to give us a decimal, so you can see why we need the calculator. So on the calc, when you put in 3.5 and you divide it by 2, we get 1.75. And this is money, so it's $1.75. And if I want to know what that 1.75 is referring to, I go back to this. The y is the note paper. So just make a note of it. This is the cost of 1 box of note paper. All right, and then to finish it up, if I want to get x, I could take this 1.75, I could plug it into this y, this y, this y, or this y. It doesn't matter. I'm going to pick this equation just because these numbers are the smallest. I'm going to put this work right here. So I'm going to put 1.75, substitute into that y, and when I do that, I'm going to have 3x plus 4. This y, I replace it with 1.75. This equals 10.75. Okay, and then when you multiply this, the 4 times 1.75 is 7. So you get 3x plus 7 equals 10.75. Okay, then you're going to subtract 7 from both sides, and you're going to have 3x equals 3.75. And then the last thing you would do is divide both sides by 3. And when you put that on your calculator, 3.75 divided by 3 gives us 1.25. So let's put 1.25, and this is the x, which is this, the 1 box of envelopes. So I'll just put ENV for envelopes. All right, so you can see this is a lot more work. We did a lot of work right here. Pay attention to how you get the 2 equations, and then eventually you want to get opposites in order to use elimination.